Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about DNS domain name system in application layer. Domain name system is like the internet's phone book. It helps you in find websites by translating easy to remember names like www.example.com into a numerical IP address like 192.0.2.1 that computers use to locate each other on the internet. Without DNS, you would have to remember long strings of numbers to visit your favorite websites. Domain name system is a host name used for IP address translation service. DNS is a distributed database implemented in the hierarchy of name servers. It is an application layer protocol for message exchange between clients and servers. It is required for functioning of the internet. What is the need for DNS? Every host is identified by the IP address, but remembering numbers is very difficult for people. Also, the IP addresses are not static, therefore, mapping is required to change the domain name to the IP address. So, the DNS is used to convert the domain name of the website to their numerical IP address, aiming for a top all India ranking. Types of domain. There are various kinds of domains: generic domains, country domain, inverse domain. Generic domains, big example .com, .edu, .mil. Country domain, example .in, .us, .uk. Inverse domain, if you want to know what is the domain name of the website, IP to domain name mapping. So DNS can provide both the mapping, for example, to find the IP address geek4geeks.org, then you have to type organization of domain. It is very difficult to find out the IP address associated with a website because there are millions of websites and which all those websites we should be able to generate the IP address immediately. There should not be a lot of delays for that to happen. Organization of the database is very important. DNS record, DNS name, IP address, what is the validity, what is the time to live, and all the information related to the domain name. These records are stored in a tree-like structure. Name to address resolution. The host requests the DNS name server to resolve the domain name, and the name server returns the IP address corresponding to the domain name to the host so that the host can feature connect to the IP addresses. Hierarchy of now name servers root nav servers. It is the contacted by name server that cannot be resolved the name. It contacts the authoritative name server if name mapping is not known. Then it gets the mapping and returns the IP address to the most H top level domain server. It is responsible for com, org, edu, etc. and all top level country like UK, France, CA, Canada, India, etc. They have info about authoritative domain servers and know the names and IP address of each authoritative name server for the second level domains. Authoritative name servers are organizations DNS servers providing authoritative host names through IP mapping for organization server. It can be maintained by an organization or service provider. In order to reach dsa.dtu.in, we have to ask the root server DNS server, then it will point out the top level DNS server and then to the authoritative domain name server, which actually contains the IP address. The authoritative domain server will return the associative IP address. Domain name server. The client machine sends a request to the local server name, which if the root does not find the address in the database, sends a request to the root name server, which in turn will rescue the query to a top level domain or authoritative name server. The root name server can also contain some hostname or IP address mapping. The top level domain servers always knows who the authoritative name server is. So finally the IP address is returned to the local name server. which in return returns the IP address to the host. The working of DNS starts with connecting the hostname into the IP address, converting the IP hostname into the IP address. A domain name server as a distinctive identification for a website. It is used in place of an IP address to make it simpler for consumers to visit websites. Domain systems works by executing the database whose work is to store the name of hosts which are available on the internet. The top level domain servers store address information for top level domains such as .com, .net, .org, or so on. If the client sends the request, then DNS resolver sends a request to DNS servers to fetch the IP address. In case when it does not contain the particular IP address with the hostname, it forwards a request to another DNS server. When IP address has arrived at the reservoir, it completes the request over Internet Protocol. So this is it for today's video, guys. I hope this video is found helpful. So thanks for watching, guys.